Uh-huh. Bernard. You look like a Bernard. Oh yes, I most definitely got you. Why you so hard on yourself? And I thought about it, I'm like, I really do be hard on myself, but I'm also hard on the people that surround me. And it's just like, and I expect them to be the same for me, because we all hold each other to a different standard and hold each other accountable for certain things. So if you can't hold yourself accountable, or if you don't want me as your friend to hold you accountable, hey, you can't be my friend, because I'm gonna tell you the real. Yeah. It's your boy Daddy Dunn, and y'all now tuned into the Get Right or Get Left podcast. Yes, sir. Today, I got two new special guests today, y'all. Got my homeboy Rashad and my friend Della. Anything you would like to say to the camera?
Right now, let's get into this topic.
Okay. Anything you love to say to the camera?
Hey.
Okay, y'all, first tapping into, hey, y'all know how my podcast go. Real, uncut. We keep it 100. Keep it blunt. If you feel like we talking about you, don't take it to offense. Just keep it real with yourself and be open-minded to what we are going to talk about and be ready to grow. So, the topic today is be realistic within your relationships. And we gonna hit on different ways, whether it's friendship, where it's guys, females, females, girls and guys, opposite sex, family, however the conversation goes. But yes, let's get straight into this combo. Being realistic with your relationship. One thing I can say starting off, without honesty within any relationship, it'll never go far. So if you really see yourself being cool or being friends with somebody in the long run, just keep it real. And if you don't see yourself keeping it real with them, you shouldn't even be friends with them, to be honest with you. So, ladies first, how do you feel about being in a relationship, let's say, with another female? Like, how being realistic would be for you?
As friendship, or are you saying like in an actual relationship as in we like cuddled up, booed up?
No, like just regular friendships.
Okay, well I think when you think realistic anyways, you want to be authentic. That just means be yourself. So when you be yourself, you kind of be a splitting image of that, and you're gonna reflect and attract what you are and who you are. So for me, I can only speak for myself. For the women around me, for the men around me, I attract like-minded people, and I attract people who are fashionable, who talk business, who are really goal-oriented, and I'm always looking up saying like, where do these people be coming from? But that's because that's how I'm set up, that's how I'm designed. So you're going to attract whatever is coming from within. As far as like being realistic in a relationship for a woman, like in a friendship, I think, just being open, being honest, making sure that you, like I said, are just looking in the mirror, looking at yourself, making sure that you're just like, asking questions and making sure you're listening. And I think being coachable is good for being friends as well, because you wanna be able to take good criticism. I think a good friend, in a realistic way, whether that's a friend or if you're in a relationship with man or woman, I feel like you should be able to critique in a way that is helpful towards them and vice versa.
For sure.
I'm gonna take it on her, like he said, what she attract. So I get that. So as far as me, I consider myself as a healer. So I'm attracting a lot of damaged people.
Yeah.
But it's not in a bad way. It's more of like, I'm happy when somebody else doing good. So me being real myself, I have to kind of push back on that because, like they say, people hurt people, but you got damaged people that hurt others too. So as far as being real with yourself in a relationship, like you said, be open. You have to be open because you can affect a whole lot of people's mindsets when you come off as a different type of energy. So relationship wise, I'll say expect the unexpected. You have to, because you can't put your all into a relationship that only one person is really taking the initiative to give it 100%. Like as far as me, 25% is all you get. So this is like the time. So you can get my conversation, I can give you that motivation and stuff like that. You have to be real with that because if you don't have an open mind or have your heart, you can't really attract the people that you want to attract. So yeah, stay loyal to yourself, protect your heart. And like I said, that's where being real in a relationship has to be. Don't have to be like intimacy and stuff like that. You know, but when it comes down to being real and open with yourself, you attract the people that you need, not what you want.
For sure. For sure. One of the biggest things for me when it comes to being real within a relationship, whether it's the opposite sex or same sex, is not really worried about that person's feelings. Like, one thing that I used to kind of fall victim of was my tone. So if I express my concerns to you, sometimes it might be my tone that gets stuff a little out of control. But within a relationship, I be realizing that that's part of getting to know somebody as well, because I feel like I shouldn't have to explain or break down my tone and how I feel if we in a real relationship. Like, you're supposed to know how I'm coming about certain situations, because some shit just be starting unnecessary arguments for no reason. But one thing about me, I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna tell you what you want. Now I'm gonna tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. And some people just can't. They can't take that. And when I realized that within certain people, that kind of automatically let me know, yeah, I don't think we can be friends. Like, I don't think we can be cool. Cause I'm not gonna hold my tongue. Cause if I really care for you, I'm gonna tell you what you need to know, not what you want to know. So that's like one of my biggest things. Like, I'm gonna be realistic with you, just because I'm gonna be realistic with myself. And one of my friends told me this past week, and it just really clicked for me. She's like, "Why you so hard on yourself?" And I thought about it. I'm like, I really do be hard on myself, but I'm also hard on the people that surround me. And it's just like, and I expect them to be the same for me, because we all hold each other to a different standard and hold each other accountable for certain things. So if you can't hold yourself accountable, or if you don't want me as your friend to hold you accountable, hey, you can't be my friend, because I'm gonna tell you the real. I'm not gonna sit up here and tell you nothing that's not realistic. If you say, oh yeah, I'm gonna have a house and a car, and in the next 6 months, I'm like, no, you still ain't got this together. You still ain't focused on this before you trying to get to that. Like, I'm gonna keep it real with you, and them the real people that you need in your corner. So
you have to take some criticism to the heart.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's on you how you take it. Like I said, if I had a person tell me, hey, look, we doing this too much, you need to tone it down, or you need to change it, I'm not gonna have a young tell me what to do. Like, people are so in tune with, okay, well, growing up, my mama told me what to do. I'm at her house, shouldn't nobody be able to tell me what to do.
Yeah.
But it's not like we telling you what to do. It's just like, hey, from my point of view, you in the wrong. So kind of change it up. Because at the end of the day, we supposed to be friends, we supposed to be boys. They're supposed to be, like you said, that's a spitting image of me. Like, I won't want nobody who's doing this, all that extra stuff, and you around me.
Exactly.
Because, like,
facts.
The worst thing to do when you got friends is to hear somebody else talk about your friends, and you not talking about them. That what hurts. So, like I would tell you previously, like I said, I had a friend guy, and like I said, we like brothers and stuff. He do certain stuff that I'm not proud of, but at the same time, it's still love though. But it's like, I'm only put myself in a situation that I need to be aligned. Not like when it come down to my business, everybody knows that I'm serious about it. So you're not finna come in there and affect it. If I got positive vibe, I want positive people. I want people to tell me, oh yeah, Rashad, this is good, right? I'll keep up the good work. Oh, your friend, like he a big support and stuff like that. That's what I need to hear. I don't need to tell like, man, you can have a whole lot of stuff, you can do a whole lot of things, but you need to be real with him. I need to make that decision on my own.
Yeah.
So being real, being realistic with myself, I have to sit here and take the criticism. Like I said, take the good with the bad.
Yeah.
And you don't want to say it a lot, but you're going to have to take the ugly too, because it might be, you can prolong stuff so much that it can hurt you emotionally, physically, and mentally. And when a strong person is mentally unable to cope or deal with stuff, they tend to hide.
Yeah.
Not suicidal thoughts, but they tend to hide what they really have going on because
They run away from it.
they run away from the trouble because so it's like you're affected by all the things that's around you. So it's like it's your time to sit here and reevaluate everything that you had got going on, whether it's good or bad. Take everything out piece by piece. Start off with the smallest thing. Take those out. So being real with yourself, being realistic with yourself, just make sure that you able to heal your heart before you let others heal your heart.
Yeah.
Because like I said, you never know. It might be to the point where you need that person. You need somebody that got a positive mindset, and then you reach out to them and they damage.
Yeah.
It hurts. It hurts worse when you don't have nobody to depend on.
For sure.
I mean, I feel all of that. I just also, that also goes back to kind of just looking in the mirror, you know what I'm saying? I feel like this, like, even, I remember there were times where people would say certain things about me. So it's one thing when you hear one person saying it, but if you hear multiple people saying that same thing, it's the truth.
Yeah.
So, like for me, it was like active listening. And it took a whole job, like, to tell me, like, you're not great at active listening. Like, I was a canvasser and, like, I'm over here trying to get my words out, but I wasn't really listening. And so that had really taught me that active listening is really key, because it's just like, I was hearing people, like, and that's in all relationships. My mama, my sister, brothers, any siblings, cousins, family, but there's also friends that also is in relationships. And then I was just like, dang, let me, like, sit here and analyze, like, a bunch of relationships that I've been in. That's so true. Like, I really wanted to always, like, voice my opinion and get what I had to say out, instead, like, I have a friend who's a girl, and she's just like, she called me, like, inconsiderate, and she called me, she said that I just wasn't, like, really listening to what she has to say. She struggled with PTSD, and, I'm a Christian. I'm just, like, I'm not going to say I was throwing God in her face, but, when she came to me with the situation, I immediately was just like, okay, we rebuking that, like, Satan behind us, like, enough is enough, you need to get up, sis, we out of there. But to her, she was just like, okay, at a moment like this, I really just needed you to listen. I really just needed you to just, tell me that she really what she, things that she wanted to hear versus the things that, she really needed to hear. But I was aggressive with what I thought, what I'm saying? I didn't really take my time to sit and analyze and really listen to her, A lot of people will sit there, like, if it's a suicidal person right here, if it's a crazy person right here, somebody finna shoot somebody, if you sit there and listen to this person, we know, like, when they go out and it happen, you really think back, like, well, that person did actually show all the signs that he was capable of doing something like that, or, X, Y, and Z. But being realistic is just, it's real deep within, knowing self. If you don't really know self, it's really hard to, have a relationship, to really even call it a relationship. You can have relations, but is it a real relationship? Probably not. When you have a lot of people who have a lot of friends, those are mainly the people who are just trying to fit in, or they don't know themselves. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the real ones, we ain't really got many. It's like a small circle. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. But yeah, you don't necessarily need a big crowd. I mean, yeah, going out is nice. It's very fun, but there's a time and a place for, everything. And there's, certain people that you can, have in, just like, a situation like this, like, you know, a lot of people who will be great for a podcast, but you know specifically, like, okay, that person will be great, but I know my vision, I know my, you know, I know,
we were just
you know
talking
what I'm
about
saying?
that. We were
So
just talking
it's
about
the
that.
same thing. It does not matter. It's relationship is relationship, but relations is different than actually having a relationship. Like, I got relations, like when we go skating, I know, you know, quite a few people, and I'm gonna chat with everybody, but when I leave, I'm talking to him, you know what I'm saying? Or I'll have like a very few people where I'm like actually like we're on the phone talking, and we're talking business, and we're talking life, and we're talking, you know, family and X, Y, Z stuff that's close, near and dear to us. But it's not gonna be no extra stuff because, you know, there are certain people there. It's just like, yeah, man, what we drinking, what we smoking, it's not me. You know what I'm saying? So we have relations, but it's not a relationship.
So let me ask y'all a question. Within relationships, have y'all fallen short within a relationship because you wasn't able to be realistic with that person, your significant other?
Me personally, yes and no. But the same fact is, like, it don't have to be mostly like loving, something like this. Sometimes it can be like more just mental breakdown. It's like you don't want to give a person your all in a mental breakdown, because when you do those things, most of it's not genuine. It's not real love. Like she said, all love ain't good love either. So it's like, if a mental person is loving you, it's not going to be what you expect, because you're going to be, I want this type of love, I want this type of affection, you need to be doing this, you need to be doing that. When you constantly give mental people, not mental people, but people who have that mental breakdown, so many agendas to do, they crash out, so they can't love you the way that you want to be loved. But it's not necessary that you want to love them. It's like those mental people needs to love you, because they will make you happy. So for me, as if like me being real with myself, I had to understand that I got to know self-love and heal from self-love, be a little selfish at times, but also know my main goal and just wanting to be real me, learning to own up to my mistakes, my flaws, and not change it, but be better with it. Like, put in a more positive aspect. But like, I'm not gonna give up on things that I love. I'm not gonna give up on things that I want in my life. Like I said, sometimes it's worth to make something fall or to hurt a little bit just so it can get better. But as long as you get better first, it's gonna be a win-win. So it's just like the two losses. Mentally, physically, emotionally, those are three losses. When you win back, you're going to have all those things back. You're going to be able to love yourself, love others, and move around freely without picking up other people's energy. Because that will really do, pick up other people's energy. That person depressed, if they be around you long enough, you're going to get depressed. Nobody want to hear a sad story every day.
No.
I want somebody to tell me, I just got me a brand new car. Like, oh, okay, let me go see it. Or
Just be happy for them.
yeah, like, oh yeah, like, I'm gonna go to the roller skate. Like, I'll come up there with you. Like, those stuff, those are positive things that you want in your life. You don't want too much negative. You don't want really negative at all.
Yeah.
You really don't.
So, in society today, especially with social media, it's like men want a certain thing, you know, they're looking at body parts, and they're looking at, I mean, really now that's what it seems like. It's just body, yaddy, 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 yaddy. But now it's also women that's body, yaddy, 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 and we ain't doing it for y'all, trust me. But my thing is this, what I have to sit back and learn personally for myself is, so I made a list. Okay, so I made a list because I was just tired, yo. I was tired. Like, I wanted to, like, create a life for myself, and I saw The Secret, and I was like, I needed to know the secret. And so The Secret was really just declaring whatever it is that you want out of your mouth and believe in it, then you receive it. That's literally The Secret, but they making so much money off The Secret, and that is The Secret. But so Oprah and Earl Nightingale's a whole bunch of people that talks about this, and there's a bunch of women that got on Oprah's show and they were talking about the list. Sierra's prayer, same thing. So you write down a list, right? So you write it down in all the aspects of your life. You're going to talk about your health. You're going to talk about your love. You're going to talk about marriage or whatever you desire. That you're going to write it down to a T. You want to draw your house out. You want to say how many kids you want. You want to, when you draw your house out, make sure you put in 3-car garage, 5. I mean, down to a T, right? Vision board, that's what women call it. We call it a vision board, and we try to do it every single year. But going back, so for me, I wrote down the list. I remember doing this in 2015, 2016. I was in a bad relationship, and I was just like, I really felt like I was walking this earth, and I just felt like I was walking, but I didn't feel like my spirit in my body. Really weird, but I ran across a woman called Abraham Hicks, and she just like really changed my life. So I wrote this list then in 2015 or so, and I wrote down this list. I was like, what I wanted in my, as a relationship, with my partner, and then how many kids I wanted in X, Y, and Z. And then fast forward to 2018, I redid it, but I did it as a vision board instead of like a letter to myself. And in the vision board, like I had my house, I had how much money I wanted to make, I had, the degrees that I wanted and that I was working on, and X, Y, and Z. Then I had to scratch that, and I had to rewrite it. And I, wrote out my man, titles, like the X, Y, and Z, whatever, we, what we want, right? And so I looked at the list, and I had to think like, am I anything on this list? No. So it's like, what you expecting to get, what are you giving to even get that? Because it's really like give and take. That's all it really is. So it's like, if you talking about you want somebody who's fit, you want this and that, baby, are you? Like these men, y'all want women with bodies, but let's see your body. You know what I'm saying? You want somebody to cater to you, women and men, we want that, but it's like, are you going to do the same? It cannot be one-sided. It can't be one-sided. This is not what the 50s or whatever, where we were in a household where the man did absolutely everything. It still happens, not to say that it does not, but in this society, the roles have really swapped, honestly, and it's women has been given a chance of more masculinity, and because of that, it's like, oh, well, we don't need this, we don't need that, we don't need this, we don't need that, but then yet we're still crying, talking about, well, yeah, we actually do need it, but it's a front. That's not being realistic with yourself. So for me, what I had to do with my list was just I had to go back again and just, think about, where I'm at right now in my life. The first thing I had to do was just be grateful. You got to be grateful for where you at. Okay, I'm here. This is what I'm doing. This is where I'm at in my life. I can't sit here and say I need somebody with a fancy house, a car, this and that. What do I have to show for it as well? You know what I'm saying? Like, how am I going to meet that person in the middle? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it works like that. I can meet a millionaire and then we live happily ever after. Sometimes maybe in a movie, maybe. But it don't always happen like that. And you got to be able to be comparable. Another thing that I was thinking was like, okay, we always want to get right before we enter a relationship, right? We always want to get right before, we do something else, or even like go to church or anything. We always talk about, okay, well, I'm going to get my body together first. I'm going to do this first, and I'm going to do that first. I'm going to do this first. But sometimes you have to meet that person right where you are, so y'all can do it together, so y'all can grow together, so y'all can actually be in it. Like we talked before when we were outside, it's not that final destination, is actually that part in between that's the real, the real, you know what I'm saying? The journey is what you really have to look forward to, because once you get there, then what? Yeah. It's the happy moments, the down moments, the blood, sweat, and tear moments where you're just like really proud to even say that you're there, and then you don't have to go back because baby, I did all that,
That's the real success.
So yeah, that's how I feel.
But you got a lot of people that's jumping in and out of relationship and stuff and not understanding what true love, being real,
Yeah.
stuff like that. So
Yeah.
you have to really, like I said, that comes with self-love too, but in a relationship, y'all got to come together as a whole. So like, it's not about who brings what to the table. It's about what your goals is. If your goal is to be this person, what do I need to do as a boyfriend or as a girlfriend to make sure you keep doing what you need to do. Right? It's not about, you're not in competition. If you want to be in a real relationship and be real with yourself, it's supposed to feed off each other.
Yeah.
Like I said, if I know you're tired and stuff like that, and you just not getting out of work, you know, I need you to correspond with that. You know, let me know. But, you know, I got your food in the oven, you go ahead, you take a shower and stuff like that, you tell me about your day. Those are the aspects, those are the things that you need to know in a relationship. So when you're being real with somebody, you don't have to show them a lot. You don't have to be verbal, but it's just like, it's the actions you do. It's like, I ain't got to sit here and tell you I love you without showing you.
Yeah.
So you being real with yourself is like giving what they need, not what they want. I said, but that's both sides though.
Yeah.
But I said, then again, it tied down being real with yourself about the whole friendship too, because man and female both. Females are very scared to be friends with men because like the generation messed up. Men's messed up the whole generation.
Ooh, say it again. I didn't hear you.
Just saying, like, I
Say it
can't
again.
say it because like I said,
You said men's is like the whole world or like y'all?
Men's in general, they messed up the whole
Y'all,
generation
you talking about
of us being friends with females because like it's not that hard.
Tell me why.
It's not.
But tell me why you say you messed it up. Say it again.
No, I said men's, not me personally.
I know, but well, you know.
But like I said, like they sit here and they think with, you know.
Oh, think with what?
The other
that head right there.
Like,
Okay.
But like I said, it's still you still can't blame it on the men's though because at the same time, like the women put on this act of attention. Like I gotta look good. When I step out, I need people to see me. It's cool. We want our women to look good. But at the same time, when you have a man who's not thinking with his other head, it's like, come on now. Y'all don't look at those. Well, I won't say y'all, but women don't look at those aspects. They look at, oh, he just want to talk to me. Oh, he just
wait, what aspects you don't look at?
Y'all don't look at like, well, maybe he just really want to be my friend, or just really want to
just
saying. Like, you gotta look at those things. You got to.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That was funny.
Every guy's just not the same.
Every guy's the same.
That's why I feel like you gotta be open to.
You gotta be open to adjust and adapt to.
I completely agree, but when it gets to that point of friendship and feelings happen and y'all do, you may be able to control it, but most can't because we are yet still flesh, so lust comes in. I honestly don't believe that it could really be a male and a female friend because eventually stop playing. What? Eventually, I'm desperate.
That's cap.
No. Because I'm telling you that one moment where if I'm in a relationship and that relationship go bad, it's just that one moment where, not to say that it's planned, you do become vulnerable. Lust do happen. You do feel feelings. Y'all both in the moment, and you gonna seize that moment.
But at the same time, you still have to look at it. Those are the men that you're looking towards. You're not looking towards the ones who
I'm
actually.
talking about everybody.
I'm just saying, like I said, I kid you not. Like y'all look at it in a different perspective. Like it's like y'all think that all men are like that. I mean, that's understandable. Like I said, y'all protecting yourself and stuff like that.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that all are like that at first. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that it's not everybody. What I'm saying is it's not everybody because it's not everybody's intention. It's not the intent to go into an actual friendship with a girl or a male, and it's both sided because it's not just y'all. We be conjuring up some stuff. We know what we doing too. You know what I'm saying? We'll make it happen. Like, okay, well, I said we was friends, but actually, feelings that came around. So, we just gonna do something.
So for me, that's just bullshit to me. Speaking for myself, I know I can be friends with a female because I'm doing that. Like, no matter how.
If you're not fully attracted to that person.
It don't have to be fully attracted to them. You can be. You can be fully attracted. Like I said, it ain't like you dating. You ain't being friends with ugly people. Like I said, you got men who are friends with beautiful women. Yeah. Like I said, I done did that for 3 years.
So the friends that's your girls, you just like were you ever interested in them? Like ever?
So this is so funny.
I'm just saying.
So no, I have a perfect example. Okay. So my friend Mallory.
Okay. Hey Mallory.
Met back in school. So she low key, no low key, she shot her shot at me on Twitter.
Okay.
And when I seen her, not necessarily I wanted to be with her. I mean, she was cute, nice body, woo woo. But it's here for me.
Right.
If this not there, then I'm not even attracted no more.
Right.
So when she shot and I seen her around the camera, like I thought about shooting at her, but that just wasn't my main focus. So when she shot at me, of course I went for it. I went for the bait.
Okay, that was the discussion ends right there.
How?
Because that's literally what I just
No,
said.
no.
Is it not?
Listen.
Yeah,
Let
Okay,
me
I'm gonna
finish
let
the
you
story.
finish. I'm gonna let you finish.
So when she shot, it was more so like a friendship shot because after she told me that she was just playing, I let it go and we had a great bond, a good friendship after that. And to even think deeper into it, she was the first female that I went viral with on TikTok. Like a lot of people had their own little say so on it, but we went viral on TikTok and we never had that type of relationship. She always tell me about the guys she done talked to and get info from me about how guys, and we always helped each other out and vice versa. But I get info on her because she very open-minded and she, not saying, I ain't gonna say she think like a nigga, but she think like a nigga. Like she think both sides. So she really one of the dope ass friends to have type shit. But yeah, it wasn't never like that. So that's the reason why I say I feel like men can be friends with females.
That's just one out of many though, but.
Oh yeah.
I mean, what if it was a certain individual where y'all actually did vibe on those levels?
I mean, I had that experience where I said I vibe with a person, but it came to the conclusion like she knew where I was coming from. Like, I can love you as a boyfriend, but do you really want us to go through all this arguments and talking about this, talking about that, and we got a good friend relationship? Like, that's my best friend, still to this day. But like I said, now she's married, got kids, and I respect the game. I haven't talked to her in a while, but I know that if we ever link up again, it's gonna be cool vibe, despite her having a crush on me. And like I said, it was the same way, it was vice versa, but it was like, I prefer her as a friend, because like, she gave me that sense of like, she can be my girlfriend, but at the same time, it was like, she put me on my toes. She kept me not thinking about this, but more of like what you need. So it's like, I didn't need them females in my life right now. I didn't need the ass and this, stuff like that. I need somebody in my corner that's gonna not be a nigga, but put me into a situation be like, this is what I think from my point of view, and that's a female. So it's like, man's messed it up, but females are so scared, so I get it. I get females why they don't want to be friends with guys. That's understandable. They feel like we only think for one thing.
Gotcha.
But it's like, it's not like that.
It's not true.
So when you have that open mind,
I don't think that's true either.
when you have that open mind and actually get to know a person, that's be the best. That's your best friend. I kid you not. You can never go wrong with it. You can never go wrong with having somebody in your corner that's not thinking about you in that certain way. Because you might need that male figure in your life. Like I said, you might not have your father, you might not have your mother. At the same time, she ain't gotta be your mama, you ain't gotta be your dad, but at the same time, you have that, you can have that sense of, I can come to a man and have that different perspective. I'll come to a woman and have that different perspective. Because like, I'm open to hearing and adapting to a different situation, but I can't hear from another man. I can't hear what a woman thoughts from another man.
That's real. I hear you.
Can't talk to your mama all the time, so it's like, you gotta have that perspective. You ain't gotta think with it.
How can
So you trying to hear?
How can you have a girlfriend or a wife, but you don't even know
Exactly.
You
how
gotta be
to?
friends first. You
Yeah, you got to.
Yeah.
They rush. They rush into a relationship. That's why a relationship don't work.
I'm really buzzing. I couldn't even ignore that.
Okay.
But yeah. Hey y'all, so we can go on and on about that. We may have to do a part 2. You never know. We did so many different topics. But hey, I want to appreciate both of y'all for coming on to the podcast. Before we get off, hey, make sure y'all get this merch, man. Peerless Pressure, for sure. Hey, I ain't gonna let you forget about it. It's gonna always be there. Make sure y'all tap in. Y'all wanna tell the camera, what y'all got going for y'all? Anything y'all wanna anybody to tap into?
Next time.
Next time.
Next
Next
time.
time. Okay. That's gonna be it, y'all. We see y'all.
That was a good outro.